Are you an indie podcast or content creator looking to reach a wider audience? Look no further. Introducing Podcastic, the ultimate podcast network designed exclusively for indie creators like you. At Podcastic, we believe in the power of unique voices and fresh perspectives. We're here to amplify your passion and creativity, connecting you with the growing community of engaged listeners who crave original content. Podcastic is more than just a platform. It's a support system built for indie podcasters, offering a range of resources to help you succeed. From tailored promotional campaigns to professional production assistance, we're here to help you shine. Our intuitive platform makes it easy for you to be seen and heard. We do all the heavy lifting for you. You just show up and create. Plus, with our advanced analytics, you'll gain valuable insights into your audience's preferences, allowing you to refine your content and grow your fan base. Ignite your passion, expand your reach, and thrive with podcasting. Visit our website at www.podcasticlife.com to get started. Podcastic, the home for indie podcasts and content creators.
Yo, what up, doe? What up, doe? It's your boy, John Q and this bitch, and welcome back to the 41st episode of the GAMG, the Big Flex Strongcast in the building, and the Tree Amigos back at it again, y'all. So, introduce yourselves real quick. Who we got in the building again? Man, we ain't heard nothing.
Don Snipes in the building.
Don Snipes in the building, y'all. Clap it up, clap it up. Yeah, buddy. And who else we got over here right here?
Man, I go by the name of G Woods, your neighborhood hero.
Oh, shit. We got G Woods in the motherfucking building again, y'all. And like I said, y'all, you know, welcome back. You know what I'm saying? So today, you know, we got us a few crazy topics and shit like that. You know what I'm saying? But we probably just touched on a few. But check this out. So today's episode is sponsored by, of course, the GAMG, the Big Flex not Strongcast, but the GAMG Enterprises LLC. Look at you. Look at that.
No, I was waiting to see what you was about to drop on them.
Yeah. Almost blew it. You know what I'm saying? Yeah, I blew it.
Almost.
You know what I'm saying? So if you're looking for the best personal trainer, of course, say one-on-one training, boot camp classes, and so forth. You're looking to get, you know what I'm saying, started into your health game. You know what I'm saying? And also, of course, if you check this out right here, nice little sweatshirt right here that I made up right here too.
Smooth.
Yeah. So of course, say the workout apparel and also health and wellness supplements. Make sure y'all holler at me at gamg.shop and also gamg.firstfitness.com. And we are also, sponsored by, not sponsored by, but yeah, we are sponsored by, what is this? We got the Business Savvy, networking event tomorrow at the St. Regis. All right. So if you into networking with business people and stuff like that, you have a special guest in the building, I believe, is Hill Harper will be there tomorrow. So the address is 3071 West Grand Boulevard, Detroit, Michigan. It's from 6 p.m. to 9 p.m. All right. So check it on out, y'all. You know what I'm saying? Look at the flyer. Come on through. You know what I'm saying? That's tomorrow, Tuesday. All right.
What is Hill Harper doing?
So it's a
Senate.
He what?
He's running for U.S. Senate.
Yeah, he's running for U.S. Senate. Yeah. All right. All right, y'all.
And he's already part of our local government here, correct?
No, legit.
Not yet.
He real active in the community though, for sure. Here,
Well,
in
I
Detroit.
bet the hell he is. Yeah, he's trying to make that run.
trying to get
'cause I
that
feel
run
like
going.
it's an open.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I'm saying? And I feel like historically, we go for names.
Yeah.
Nothing to take away from Hill Harper, though. I will say this.
For sure.
Hill Harper, he had a couple books. One, it was called A Letter to My Brother and A Letter to My Sisters.
Mm-hmm.
I did purchase those books. I remember purchasing those books for Christmas, right? For my daughter and my nephews. What they didn't know is I put $50 at the back of the book. I said, yo, I said, read that book and then let me know when y'all finish it. Ain't nobody read shit.
They ain't get to that 50.
They ain't get to that 50. Then one day I'm talking to one of them. I said, you know, I put some money in the back of them books. Uncle Don, you did? I sure did.
You should be like, shit, yeah.
You understand what I'm saying?
You should be like, hey, give it back to me.
I just said, listen, I'll never forget. I got clowned so bad that Christmas from folks in the fam. It was just like, you bought him a book? You fucking right, I bought him a book. I bought him a book.
Hell yeah. Knowledge
but it was Hill Harper's.
Knowledge is key.
So shout out to you, Hill,
for sure.
All right. So
I
like I
wasn't trying
said,
to ditch you or nothing, but
yeah.
shout out to you.
Like I said,
you have been a thought provoking individual for some time now. So I could.
Okay.
I guess I am a little curious though as to why you chose Michigan. I would love if you listening or somebody know and somebody could call and explain that. I'm just a little curious as to how
he chose.
Out of all places, this is what he picked.
What
because I've been seeing him
to Detroit. You know what I'm saying? Because I mean, it's enough ladies on this post liking all this shit. But anyway, yeah.
All right, y'all. So like I said, it's a great networking event tomorrow. All right.
Yeah.
So check it out, y'all. All right. So how was y'all strong in real quick? What y'all end up doing this strong in?
Man, it was cool, man. I actually sat down and watched the Lions game with my people, with my family.
Shout out to the Lions, 7-2 in this bitch.
Yeah, we had a whole little get together and everything, man. They was going crazy, and you know they did good. So we just sat down.
That was a hell of a game, man.
It was solid.
I listened to it on 97.1 ticket, and you know I had called you afterward.
Yeah.
What?
Yeah, that was a hell of a game.
Man, let me tell you something. I'm listening to the game and. The announcers were so excited. I felt like I was watching it.
Like he was
literally, you know, play for play. I never heard of this hype and this amp before. And I mean, it was kind of like a shocked surprise, but excited all at the same time. So when the Lions, you know, they scoring them touchdowns back to back, and I mean, man, this announcer was going crazy. It was Lomas Brown and whoever the white guy is. I don't know his damn name. On 97.
It might have been what's his name?
But they did some hell of an announcing for the game.
You're talking about. Yeah. All right.
Outside of that, man, I didn't really do. Oh, you know what?
Yes, you did.
I take that back.
I say yes, you did because I did it with you. No.
Shout out to all the fellas, man. We got together.
What up, though, brothers?
And went to Knock Twice Speakeasy.
Yeah.
All right.
How was the vibe in there?
The vibe was good as hell.
The vibe was
nice,
good.
Man.
Okay. The entertainment was definitely
slapping.
Okay.
Yeah.
I'll let everyone know now. You know, they charge like a little $7 entertainment fee, but hear me out on this. It was well worth it.
Yeah, it was worth
it. They had a live band in there.
They had a live band, right? And a dude who
singing had range like a motherfucker. That motherfucker was singing something
like mystical. But he could sing his tail off, man.
Yeah.
Like, I actually turned around and was like this, like, dang, buddy over there killing it. Yeah. I mean, and he wasn't all this. He had a nice selection.
Yeah.
It wasn't like he was in there singing all 70s, 80s.
Right.
Bro, it was a broad range of music, like Cuz said, but he could go. I wish I would have got his name, but man, they did their thing, man.
Yeah,
so
he did his thing.
Shout out to the fellas for that.
Yep.
I'm gonna say my critique for the spot, but I will say this is from what I'm told is black owned, so definitely go out and support. You know what
that's
I'm
what I
saying?
heard.
And
It was
I'm
dope,
gonna leave that there.
Yeah. It's called Knock Twice Speakeasy.
Speakeasy.
Yeah. It's in
it's hitting.
It's in West Bloomfield.
It's in West Bloomfield. The motherfucker is ducked off.
Yeah.
For sure. But outside
I
of
almost
that,
told some shit.
Yeah, look, outside of that, man.
I almost told some shit up. That
somebody put me to work this weekend, so I was moving shit, and I ain't really do too much outside of that. But I will say this, man. We had some. We only gonna get so many more days of the sun, and I'm gonna stress this to all the fellas out there, man. Get out and get some sunlight. Get out and take some deep breaths.
Yeah.
We need that. You know,
it's in the wintertime.
In the
Put your feet on that ground.
In the wintertime, them testosterone levels get real low, fellas.
Yeah.
Get your tail outside and
Say
get
put
some
your balls in the
sunlight.
sunlight.
Get some sunlight. Yeah, I'm not saying that, but yeah, that was Quentin saying that. If any women listening, I got
No,
listen,
it's actually some research behind that. Real shit.
Yeah, I believe, but I had a
Look it up. Hey, look it up.
No, I ain't got to look it up.
Not you. I'm just.
I just ain't say that. We had a caller or somebody that was listening to the show rather last week, and they got on my head. They said we cuss too much, cuz. So I was like, oh, okay. Yeah,
Oh, really?
They did. So
Let me get to something now. Fuckity fuck. Nah.
Yeah. Well, anyway, but outside of that,
Yeah,
the strong game was pretty good, man. I appreciate just the the fellowship and all that good stuff, man. So
All right.
shout out to the fellas and all that good stuff, man.
All right, yeah. Hey, look, I'm just gonna go ahead and that's what we did. You know what I'm saying? We got with the fellas. That's what I did Saturday. Celebration of your birthday again. You know what I'm saying? Like I said, we did enjoy ourselves.
Oh, you know what? And I played a fun game. Listen, I got to share this with y'all. So I was at this little function, right? And basically they passed the computer around, and you had to pick a song that reminded you of middle school and a song in high school that was your jam.
Oh, okay.
And dog, it was a wild time in there. You know what I'm saying?
That sounds like I would love something like that.
No doubt.
And look, and you had to tell a small story
To go along with it.
behind the song.
Okay, then.
You would be amazed.
Oh, I got some-
one of the brothers played Crucial Conflict. Hey,
Right.
in the middle
Middle
of
of the barn.
For me, I end up playing my middle school song was Jodeci. All right, and my high school, you got to pick 2 high school songs, and one of them was Tupac, "Picture Me Rolling." I had to play some Pac, and I forget the other one. I think it might have been I play NWA. That's Gangsta. That's built to last.
Okay.
But bro, it was a fun game because I feel like one thing about it is, we all express ourselves differently when it comes to music.
Without
You'd
a
be
doubt.
surprised, man. Some of the folk that you might think is square than a motherfucker, they listening to some of the
And somebody you think might be on some street, they banging something.
You know what I'm saying?
Because listen, as you said that, I'm thinking in my middle school song, I probably would do some MC Breed. But then in high school, it was this song, man, and I cannot remember the band, but it was called "It's Closing Time," and it come on. It's closing time. One last call for alcohol. And I used to work at this restaurant, and every night this song would come on the radio.
Yeah.
This is when I was in high school, and I can't remember the
Was
name.
it a white band?
It's a white band.
Oh, I heard that song. Yeah.
One last call for alcohol, so finish your whiskey. Man, that was
And
my.
it stayed there.
Oh my God, yeah, that was that
But
lit.
listen,
Yeah,
it
that's
was
crazy.
fun, man.
No
Put it
doubt.
this way, it kind of took you back because everybody, you got different age groups. Everybody playing their own different
Right.
songs, so it was actually really turnt, man. So
Okay.
shout out to the DJ. Damn, I can't even think of is it DJ Platinum? Thomas, forgive me, bro. I forget your DJ name right now, but I think it's DJ Platinum, man. But shout out to you for that game, man.
Yeah, that sounds dope, man. Hey, it's a game that I want to do one day, far as with say couples and stuff like that. But I'll let you know. Yeah, It's dope. It's something. It's sort of like that, but
man, that would be good too at a family gathering.
Yeah.
Even for some of the old heads.
That'll
You
be
know what I'm
live.
saying? To be
When you got a group of people in the room, all age groups, man,
There you
I
go.
love to hear what
that's dope.
their selection
Absolutely.
was.
And
that's
I'm just
dope.
saying this right off the rip too. Fathers, if you're at this event and your daughters is there and they pick the wrong song, take a belt that night. Because if they put on that bullshit,
It might get a little spicy.
you know what I'm saying? Spank that ass and let them know.
Right.
You understand what I'm saying? You won't be listening to that shit too much.
Inappropriate.
Yeah, you did. But yeah, no, it was fun, man.
Okay.
Yeah, that's loud.
So before we get to Don's motivational moment, this segment is sponsored by APE All Problems Eliminator. Okay, so if you're looking for home repair or any kind of work done to your home, drywall, painting, flooring, and so forth. Give T and BT a call at area code 623-223-3943. And we are also sponsored by TNT Cakes, Creations, and more. So, of course, if you're looking for any kind of printable items that you need done, shirts, hoodies, pants, glasses, tumblers, license plates, anything you could think of, you want to make sure you call Tim at area code 563-650-9444. And they also have, say, cakes like red velvet cakes, strawberry, what you want to call that, cheesecakes, and so forth. So they do some of everything, so make sure y'all holler at them, okay? And then they can be reached also at their email address at timwilliams1130@yahoo.com, okay? Don, what we got on the table and shit as far as your motivational moment?
My motivational moment, on the way here, I was talking to Sis. Shout out to Sis. Love you. And we were having a conversation, and I was reading something earlier this week, and I'm always, curious about, just the way men and women think. And I was just telling Sis, a lot of times when we have conversations with, the opposite sex, too much of the conversation is focused on right and wrong thinking as opposed to meeting each other halfway. And what I mean by that is, I was telling Sis, I'm like, listen, a lot of times as men, we like to have conversations based on factual information, and women like to speak from an emotional place, right? Yeah. But here's the deal. I think that it's important that we learn to start honoring both sides of the conversation, okay? Because, as a woman, your woman may be the person that's able to say, hey, baby, this situation don't feel right. You understand what I'm saying? Or that person right there might not be, might not have your best interest. And as a man, we're able to tell a woman like, hey, listen here, that shit don't make no sense. Mm-hmm. And I know you feel this way, baby, but this the move you need to make. Yeah. And I think a lot of times when we have conversations, especially conversations based around how we raise our children, we kind of pit, you know what I'm saying, the way we think against one another. When in actuality, I feel like if we start honoring one another, and meeting each other halfway when it comes to raising our children, our children gonna have a lot more success. Because I was telling my sister, I said, when you look at a young boy, if he thinks too emotionally, you understand what I'm saying? He gonna be at a disadvantage. But the same could be said for a woman, that's raised by a man, or that's up on the daddy too much. If you thinking too logical about every damn thing, and you never tap into that feminine energy or that emotional side of you, you gonna come across as kind of masculine. Mm-hmm. So we need both. Balance. And by my sister having boys, the way that she's had to parent is quite different from me because I have girls. You understand what I'm saying? And I say that just to say that I've learned a lot about, there's just certain things that I've had to address with my daughters that I've had to step back at times and say, okay, wait a minute, I'm not a woman. You know what I'm saying? I don't understand this, but me being your father, let me add my little, 25 cents to this conversation. You understand what I'm saying? So I that's just my comment for today. I think that if we meet each other halfway and we honor each other's differences, as opposed to saying, well, you right and I'm wrong. Yeah. Now we can start to have some more productive conversations with one another, and we can build a better generation that come after us.
Yeah, all right. Yeah, clap that shit up.
Yeah,
man.
I like that for sure.
Say perspective and balance. You know what I'm saying? At the end of the day, you know what I mean?
Yeah,
so,
I find that to be so true, man, because I got both. I got two boys and a girl, and I have to parent different when it comes to my daughter, right? With the boys, it's a little more hands-on, a little more aggressive, a lot more. But with that girl, it's a different approach, man, because she is a girl and there is more emotion involved. You know what I'm saying? With
You
my
gotta
son,
tap
I
into
might,
that. Yeah.
I might punch him in the chest or headlock him or something, right? But with her, it's more conversation. It's more, let me put something on your mind to think. I can tell my daughter, and shout out to my kids because they told me I didn't get him a shout out.
Yeah. Come on now, little cousin.
Right.
What's up?
Shout out to them.
Yeah.
Right. But with my daughter, it's like I can tell my daughter something like, you know, I'm disappointed, and that means so much more, right? Coming from me to her, being her father, and expressing I'm disappointed in you or your actions or something like that. It hold a lot more weight as opposed to with them boys. You got to be a little more, you know, hands on. A little. It's just a difference, man.
Bro, that's what the conversation was about.
That's deep.
I just told my sister, I said, listen, there was a time where my mother, my biological mother, man, shout out to Money, she decided that she was going to have a little bro when she was 43 years old. And I remember there was a time that bro wasn't making the best choices, but, you know, she spoiled him, a lot of material shit. And so one day I said, listen here, I said, you go in that room. I said, if you got 10 pairs of shoes, living with one, or fuck it, make a mismatch. I said, and at the end of the day, I said, with men, you got to understand that you got to be about that action with us. And it ain't always about whooping ass and yelling, because when it comes from a woman, it can feel real emasculating. But at the same time, you can't do too much all the talking and this and that, because boys know instinctively how to get away with shit with their mama, just like little girls know
how to manipulate shit with daddy.
Man, I remember when my girls was little, they could look at me and tear up a certain way, and I'm like, damn, I can't. Come on, man, let's just, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
But mamas be like that with they little boys.
Yes.
But after they reach a certain age, I told my sister, I say, listen here, man, there come a time, man, where as a mother, the hardest thing you can do, but it's going to be the best thing for them boys' life, is you pull all the way the fuck back and say, hey, listen here, if this your life, you're going to have to show me what you want out of life right now. You're going to show me how to be. Because here's the deal, man. When we was coming up, moms and pops wasn't all the time, hey, come on now, you got to get up, you know, asking you 3-4 motherfucking times,
Hell no.
getting up, fixing bread. We got up, got ready, dressed for school, cooked our own breakfast, got your
Walked a mile
Don't fuck
to
around
school.
and be
Not a mile,
late.
mile.
Yeah, miles. That's what I'm saying. With no bus
So
coming to
I'm-
pick you up on the corner.
I'm saying all that to say that our conversation is centered around the fact that with boys, similar to what you just said, and I think, and you can elaborate on this, there's a certain level of struggle that you got to let young boys have in the teaching responsibility. It sounds like it's kind of counterproductive, but it's not. You got it. We learn differently, and sometimes that's hard for a lot of mothers to grasp. So you know what I'm saying. I'm thankful that, you know, her and I are able to have those kind of conversations, because like I told her, I'm like, it's certain shit when it comes to the girls, I'm not a woman. You know what I'm saying? I don't know. So it would behoove me not to listen to a woman's counsel when it comes to how to raise my girl or how to have certain conversations with them. But y'all gotta do the same for us. Because I did tell my sister, I said, I do feel as though a lot of times in my life's experience, women have a hard time listening to us as men, and we just gotta, y'all gotta cut that shit out.
Gotta cut that, break that wall down.
Yeah.
Because a lot of times, like you said, you know what I'm saying, when it's coming from a woman, and I think a lot of times, even in this society, to where you'll see women overly doing it, you know what I'm saying, like trying to overly be aggressive, talking to, say, a young man, you know what I'm saying, a little boy and stuff like that. And it's like, no, that's not really the approach to every little man, you know what I'm saying, every little boy and stuff like that. Because just for example, I think I talked about this maybe some weeks ago, where it was a neighbor of mine, little woman or whatever, and I guess apparently her son had left their front door unlocked. So she hopped out the car like, hey, motherfucker, this and another. Didn't I tell you, you know, you left my door unlocked? I mean, she's cussing and I'm just cringing, and I'm like, I want to go over there and tell her, like, hey, listen, like, for one, you should. That ain't even the place to do it. You outside. I said, not only that, like, if you really think your message is really getting through by cussing at them like that and stuff like that or whatever, more than likely it's not. I said, not only that, look at the ramifications that might end up happening later on in his life when it comes to his relationships with women.
See, a child's example of relationship come from what they see with their parents.
Exactly.
If you're a father, your daughter's perception of relationship or how men deal with her is going to be based off of what she saw with her father. So if you a parent, and I'm all for the discipline action and all of that, they get out of pocket, you got to check them.
Yeah.
But some things can be extreme. You don't want your daughter to think that it's okay and natural for a nigga to put their hands on her consistently in all ways because they'll adopt this mentality. Same thing with boys. You can't let them boys manipulate you into thinking that, because that's going to be how they take their approach with women as well.
I saw this is so interesting. Charleston White, it's a clip of him going around where he said, and again, my man, sometimes he go off on a tangent, but
sometimes he
got to listen to the message. You got to listen to the message.
Right.
And he made a comment. He said, man, a lot of y'all women, when y'all sons going out here and they getting scratched in the face and spit on and hit all upside their head, first thing y'all do is y'all go tell them, you don't put your hands on that woman and this and that. And then he keep going for the old okie doke, because he don't necessarily know how to even handle a woman when he going through that. But that's because y'all programming him to deal with this woman a certain kind of way. And I guess for me, and I'll just use myself as an example, there was a time where once my daughters became a certain age and we start having certain conversations about relationships, that's the one area where I had to, I had to speak on some things that, and at the time, was a little uncomfortable for myself. You know what I'm saying? Being as though they have two different mothers. I didn't marry either of their mothers. The fact that I was this age, I was young when I had my first one, and then when I got with the second one, I thought things were going to be this way. Things didn't go so right, and so it wasn't necessarily a conversation where I wanted to play the blame game, as opposed to having a conversation where I wanted to take some accountability and say, "Hey, listen, as a man, this is ideally what I would have liked to do, in terms of you guys' upbringing. You know what I'm saying? Living in a 2-parent home, not co-parenting and all of that. Just kind of expressing some of my desires. But at the same time, I said, hey, listen, that didn't necessarily work. But I wasn't afraid to share with them some of the mistakes that I've made in my relationships in order for them to learn. Because I think sometimes parents have a tendency, man, to keep a lot of shit a secret.
Absolutely.
And they paint this picture like shit perfect, and it's just like, cut that shit out. You know what I'm saying? Because in real life, I feel like the only way they gonna learn how to admit their mistakes is if they're around people, that example that's willing to look them in their face and be like, hey, you know what? That wasn't a good decision at that time. But this how we gonna move forward, and in the future, and for you're not gonna make that same
because
mistake.
Even when you criticize or give lessons, it's always better to give it from a perspective of love. This is what I went through. Let me tell you my story. Even when I talk to my kids, I tell them, hey, let me tell you what I went through, and I give it to them. Because it hit different like that, as opposed to you just pulling something out the atmosphere and making up some scenario that didn't exist.
Smart and intelligent.
You're trying to
or like you always been this way.
No, listen, these was my dumb decisions. This is the way I thought about things when I was your age, son. So when you give it that realness, that personable, it just resonate different in their mind, I think.
Yeah, absolutely. And being able to let them know, hey, because I think for me, something, and this is something we've talked about on the show a few times, is having an older man around you to be able to let you know the difference between how a man moves and how men move. Don't let that go over your head.
But not only that, just to add on to that, it's like, okay, knowing what a man and like you said is supposed to be there for be a protector, especially for your kids, right? But then what about a woman? They're supposed to be a nurturing, aspect, you know what I mean, that they're supposed to bring to the table. That's supposed to be the natural part, the natural progression of it, right? So I think what's happening too, you know what I'm saying, like you said, if you don't have a mentor to show you, okay, what a man is, what's the means of protection? Protection doesn't always mean I'm gonna kick I'm out here to kick somebody's ass to protect you that way. It could just be like you said, say out of a conversation. It can be out of anything to kind of stir you in the right direction. That can always be protection. But then what about, say, nurturing? Nurturing is not always coddling the motherfucker either. You know what I'm saying? Right. But nurturing can be, hey, let me talk to him. You know what I'm saying? In a nice, you know what I'm saying, elderly kind of way, not no grown nigga shit. You know what I'm saying? Not always being, say, argumentative or, you know, extra aggressive, like how you talking. Always, you know what I'm saying? Like you said, cussing and belittling somebody. You know what I'm saying? To get your point across. There you go.
Yeah, no doubt.
All right. Well, clap that shit up, man. That was hell of a, man. You know. We gonna go ahead and go right into it then, since we already on that path of, like, say, that kind of conversation. So, main topic for tonight, y'all. We gonna go ahead and dive on in. How do you deal with disrespectful family members and friends? You know, I mean, I'm quite sure we have all had, say, some experiences. You know what I'm saying, throughout our family. You know what I'm saying? Say. On all sides.
Without a doubt.
You know what I'm saying? So,
Without a doubt.
you know, how do you deal with them? You know, and then what is the proper way to deal with, you know, say someone that's disrespectful, you know, as far as, you know, family and friends and stuff like that, say in public or, you know, at home or whatever, you know? What's y'all take on that? How do you deal with it? Because
it's funny, man.
Because I don't think it's a right or wrong, but it's just
it's no blueprint on how you deal with it. First, it depends on the person and the relationship.
Okay.
Right? Is this person a habitual
line stepper?
Yeah, line stepper, right? Or was this an isolated incident that happened to be disrespectful at that moment that you got to check and correct right then?
Yeah.
You know, if you know you dealing with a certain family member or members, and this is just how they get down, they just these kind of people, man. You know, for me, I might not necessarily definitely limit your interaction and how you get down with these people. Yeah. You know you can't talk, you know, bread with birds and cheese with rats, because they don't even, you know what I'm saying? Yeah. You don't even go down that path with them. You know, but if it's an isolated incident, you know, it ain't nothing to pull that person to the side and, you know, get in their ear. Yeah. Because sometimes people not aware of some of the things that they do. If me and you act a certain kind of way behind closed doors, sometimes you might let things slip in public, like, damn, my bad, you know.
Like, my bad,
Yeah, you might have to, because you might not want it to say that, and, oh, damn, my bad. Then that's a whole different situation. Yeah. But for the ones that's just flat out disrespectful.
Yeah, you know what I'm saying? Just the ones and shit that feel like it's okay and shit to be disrespectful, or say if they got any kids, or if they got any, you know what I'm saying, or if you do, you know, if a person have, say, a parent, you know what I'm saying, that's highly disrespectful and feel like they're entitled to be disrespectful and shit. You know what I'm saying? Like, how do, you know what I'm saying? Like, you know, what would be the, like I said, what would be the, like, the proper way? You know what I'm saying? So, you know, like I said, it's been an instance, you know what I'm saying, to where I've just seen, say, you know, a parent, you know what I'm saying, be highly disrespectful to their daughter. Right, but at the same time, say, give their son a pass for some bullshit. You know what I'm saying? And it's like, okay, so you want to be disrespectful to the daughter, and then give the son a pass, but the son been, you know, like, just straight up trash. You know what I'm saying? Just out here in the streets being, you know what I'm saying? Got 20, 30 different baby mamas and kids and shit everywhere. Say the daughter might not have any, you know what I'm saying? Highly successful and stuff like that. You know what I mean? And just constantly, like, you know, being manipulative, green lighting. As they, you know what I'm saying, gaslighting, say green lighting,
well,
but gaslighting, stuff like that.
As a parent, based off of your kids, you always know who you can, you know, so to speak, dump the shit on. Yeah. You know who's the most sensitive or who's the most, you know, thick-skinned, you know, so in terms of what you're saying, you know, when it's a parent, it just kind of hit a little different, because that's one of them subjects to where, you know, that person can really resent their parent based off of seeing how they are with
how they being, like, almost like what you want to call it, bias or
that is a bias.
or you know what I'm saying, or what you want to call it, favoritism. You know what I mean? So
for sure.
You know, but like I said, you know, what you got to say, Don? I know, look, he's down there pondering.
It's a touchy subject for me.
No, it is. Yeah.
So first and foremost, I want to say that you cannot give somebody something that you don't have. And I think that one of the reasons why respect sometimes is hard pressed to be kind of dished out, you know, with family members, is because we haven't learned what it means to be respectful of one another, to from jump. I think when I think about this conversation, I just really had to ask myself, I'm like, man, you know what, just really being honest with myself. And it's our community, right? I want to speak on this. I oftentimes see more respect given to friends and niggas on the street, and more grace than our family members.
Family.
Yeah,
And
that's true.
I just had to really just be honest with myself.
Yeah.
I'm just like, man, and that's a shitty ass learned behavior. You know what I'm saying? It's a shitty ass behavior for sometimes I'm appreciative of our relationship. You know what I'm saying? But just being honest, man, sometimes family members, shit, one fuck up, I ain't fuck with that nigga for life. And we got older people around us, older adults in their 60s, you know what I'm saying, 50s, 60s, they the ones that started that shit, and they still rolling with it.
Still rolling with it, yeah.
And so I just feel like, I remember when my girls were young, and I had a conversation with somebody. I was dating a female, and she was extremely disrespectful to her son. And I asked her one day, I was like, how do you expect him to learn what respect is? And her reply to me was, it don't make no difference. He a kid. Right, that was just her mentality. And my thing is, believe it or not, she was just repeating something that when I thought about it, a lot of older adults said to me.
Said the same thing.
You know what I'm saying? Like when we was coming up, believe it or not, if we asked a question, you being disrespectful. So I
Stay
feel
in the
like,
child's place.
I feel like in our community, we really got to do some unlearning of the bullshit. All right, and I feel like maybe a better question is, how do we learn how to respect each other more, as opposed to dealing with the disrespect?
Okay.
Because and because for me, right?
Smoke a bag of that. Put that number up there, man.
When
want some people to call in.
For me, right? When I think about just dealing with people in general, I learned that we can state our boundaries, but in order for a person to learn how to respect them, we have to be about action when it comes to what they are. You get what I'm saying? Meaning, hey, listen here, I'm not. Please don't speak to me that way. Okay. Now, after you let somebody know that, and hey, this is my boundaries right here. Now, if they do talk to you in this kind of way, what do you do?
What's the demonstration?
Do you engage in conversation with them? Do you cut it off and say, hey, listen, we won't continue this until we learn how to speak to each other this way? And I think that that's something that we need to start teaching our children, because believe it or not, I guess when I think about, how to handle disrespectful motherfuckers, man, a lot of us really just been through so much disrespect and fuckery. To be honest, I'm just using myself. I don't even have the capacity sometimes. I have zero tolerance for the fuckery.
And see that, and that's kind of like,
I'm going with
and see, and that's kind of like,
focus more on learning how ways to respect, as opposed to dealing with the disrespect. Because I've been fucking had it up to here with the disrespect. We go, as black men, we deal with that shit on the regular
basis.
From family, friends, co-workers, society, it don't matter.
No
so
doubt.
that shit can be overwhelming at some point, but
so would it be, like, okay, so say if somebody, is not not a good communicator, right? And they let stuff like simmer or bring it in. What advice would you probably say give to them? Both of y'all. You know what I'm saying? So like, if somebody is just pretty much to themselves.
So you're saying somebody who harbors a lot of shit, it take them a long time to get over some stuff? Yeah,
that, what I'm saying? Kind of like not really hold a grudge, but they just don't know how to communicate to talk to, it's like, say if I'm a disrespectful person, right? And say, I did something disrespectful to you. If I'm a bad communicator and I did something to you, right? What would you do? Like, what kind of advice would you give me to be able to try to fix that situation if you didn't already came to me, right? And say, you know what I mean? Like, hey, you was disrespectful. Like you said, don't talk to me this way, this, that, another. Okay, say that's the icebreaker for the most part. But what if that person still don't know how to like communicate far as because they never learn how to communicate using their actual words, and then they using more so their emotions.
So one thing about that question is it's kind of tough because some people are set in their ways. And you can keep talking and giving examples and let me show you the right. Hey, listen, just do this and do that. But sometimes people are truly stuck in their ways, and then it almost makes it seem as though you just preaching to the choir. You just talking, and it's not even hitting home with this person, and that shit alone will frustrate you. You know?
And then too, I would say this though. I think what it is too, like you was kind of touching on it too, Don, was I think the reason why a lot of people get frustrated, you know what I'm saying, dealing with disrespectful, family members and friends is, it's like, how dare you be that way with me and you know who I am? You know what I'm saying? Like you said, they'll give grace to strangers.
But that's why they're
stuff like that.
That's
exactly.
Why they're like
so
that.
It's like that. So the person that's being disrespected will get mad and angry and stuff like that at that person that's being disrespectful towards them, just because. It's like, goddamn, you know who I am. You know what I'm saying? You know that I'm Welcome to the GAMG, the Big Flexx podcast. Who do we have on the line?
Hey, how you doing? It's D.
Hey, how you doing, D? You know what I'm saying? Say you might want to turn your TV or radio down in the background. We can hear. We get a little feedback.
Somebody. Okay, I sure will. My bad.
Hey, now, cuz.
All right, what you finna talk about?
I'm just calling about the disrespect thing.
Okay, let's hear it.
That's huge. Disrespect is like, I feel like that's my bottom line, and I'm willing to accept a lot of things, from my family and loved ones, but it's only so much disrespect you can tolerate. You can try to get along, you can try to get around things, but sometimes it's just really some real unhappy, miserable people that have nothing better to do but push your buttons, and they enjoy that. And in those instances, I will be the one to say, I'll take it back to the older people. Like, I'm just not messing with you at all. Like, I'll sever the line. I ain't got to talk to you no more, because I know that all that brings is disrespect. So
I have a question for you though. Do you feel as though that being disrespectful is a learned behavior though?
Oh, absolutely.
You know what I'm saying?
When you said that they can't give what they don't have,
that was there. That was on point.
Ooh, baby, that touched me. Listen, sometimes when you look at people, it's like, how can I expect them to do me any differently when they treat their kids like that? You know what I mean? And they spouses, and like you said, they mama treated them like that. Like,
so that's all they know.
No more. That's what they know, and for those reasons, it's bad for my mental health to keep dealing with you, because it's never going to go any further than this, because this is what you know.
So to preserve yourself,
you got to protect your peace.
You got to cut them people off.
I got to protect my peace. My peace is everything. So. Yeah, so I say I'm all for to cut them off. If need be.
And that's where I say that I think that as we age, we have a duty and an obligation and a responsibility to really teach these young ones what respect is all about. Just to be honest with you, because I've noticed throughout the years, like I said, when I was a kid, I didn't go to school, and I was fearful of disrespecting my teachers. Not only was I fearful, but there was a feeling that come over me that I would say, man, I feel and look like a clown doing this in front of everybody. I'm not saying that you didn't have the occasional knucklehead, but it was just certain things that you did and did not do.
Because you knew that you knew better.
Absolutely.
Not only that, you know that you was representing your household.
Absolutely.
You know what I'm saying?
Exactly.
Your parents.
But now what I see, and why I say this is a learned behavior with some of the younger generation, I see the parent come in and act a stone donkey on the teacher or the administrator right off the rip, and then once they leave, the child feel like, well, shit, mama then just came up here acting a donkey. So I'm gonna act a donkey too. So when the teacher say sit down, and that child turn around and say, bitch, fuck you, I'm standing up.
Right.
Yeah.
What the hell? What's gonna happen?
Right.
And it's kind of sad.
And And the parents, even they go so far as to teach kids. I wasn't taught this. That you only respect those who give respect to you. And when I was a child, you respected all adults.
Say it again.
You ain't got to like them, but you gonna respect them.
No, you
know
respect
what I mean?
people just in general. Yeah,
Absolutely.
Yeah. See, they
You
not
respected
taught
your
that no
neighbor,
more. They
the
taught-
guys down the street, the safety crossing guard. When
Right.
he was coming
Yeah.
up, he's had the dudes with the little orange thing on.
Yeah.
The little orange
Janitor.
bag.
Went in and
Whoever,
said
yeah.
such and such was giving me a prize.
Yeah.
See, this
Yeah.
was before you could actually tell on somebody and it meant something.
And it meant something,
Give all
right.
them problems. It was
Right.
like, hey, get your ass together. You don't be
Right.
out there doing that while early in the
Yeah.
morning because you could lose your life.
Yes,
Yep.
indeed.
You know what I'm saying?
Yes,
Crossing the
indeed.
street, they there to protect you. So
Right.
you it's just certain things, like you said, we were taught respect in a different way.
Yeah.
And I think I say all this to say that I feel like we've gotten away from that.
We
And I
absolutely
feel
have.
like we need to get more. We need to get back to that, because if not, man, we're gonna be doomed. And again, I think that if it doesn't start with us, it's going to reflect in the way that our households are. Okay, it's going to reflect in the way that our family structure is, and it's going to reflect in our community. Because truth be told, nowadays, do we really have a community?
No.
You understand what I'm saying? And I feel as though all of those
Listen.
things have a domino effect on something that's
does.
as big
Yes,
as
indeed.
respect.
Yes,
it should
indeed.
start with respect.
Yes, indeed.
I saw something recently, and they were saying, you know how they say it takes a village. They said your village. No, your village is full of people who think they can talk to my kid any kind of way. They can do this. No, F your village. You can keep it. I don't want it. I got my own village. I take care of mine. And it's like, but your kid is going to be limited severely because it takes all kind of people to help your kids. Like I have a lot of siblings. My husband don't fish, but I got a brother who loves fishing. He introduced that to my kids. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like, it's
Absolutely.
just things like that. Like, you need a variety of people around to be there for your kids. And to be honest, to be real with you, don't nobody want to deal with no disrespectful ass kids. So if you're not teaching your kids respect, ain't nobody else trying to deal with them.
Absolutely.
All right.
Absolutely.
And then what's going to happen is the real world is going to humble their ass.
Yeah.
The world
Eventually.
is going to get a hold of
Yeah,
them.
eventually it is.
And that's where they're going to learn a tough, hard lesson.
Yep.
And it could cost them a whole lot. You know what I'm saying? Maybe
Of
even their
unnecessary
life.
pain.
Yes, indeed.
Suffering.
Yes, indeed.
Freedom.
Yeah. Or they
Scar on
life.
your damn face for the rest of your
Yeah,
life.
for
'cause
sure.
Yep.
Then
All
get
right.
some silliness. Absolutely.
That's for real.
Unlivable.
Yeah.
Yeah.
No doubt.
From getting shot
Yeah,
or anything
man.
else.
Yeah.
It's just,
And, that's
absolutely.
and they don't want to go that way and learn that way, but what's their options at that point?
All right. Well, thanks a lot for calling in, D. We appreciate it.
I love you.
No
girl.
doubt. No doubt.
I'll
Love
see
y'all.
you later, young lady.
Appreciate the topic. All right, y'all.
Yeah. All right, cuz. All right. Yeah. So, anybody else want to call in? Let us know what your perspective is. You can call in at area code 313-266-2811. Yeah. So, even like you said with kids, like that's one thing that I cannot be around is disrespectful kids.
Man.
Because the thing is, they learned that, or they've been getting away with that with their parents. So immediately nowadays, if you even confront the parent about they disrespectful kids, you already know you're going to end up in a bad situation.
Yeah.
And for the most part, that's what be happening a lot of times, just like we seen, it was a story recently, maybe about a couple of weeks ago. I don't know if y'all seen this, but it was a neighbor who was playing music in an apartment, and I guess the two neighbors or whatever had
Oh, and they killed them.
Killed the son and the father.
and
You
the
see what
father.
I'm saying? Over say noise.
Yeah,
which
said-
was,
So I guess the
loud stuff
neighbor
like
went
that.
to the house
Yeah.
to
They showed the video. It's her
Yeah.
camera all in the hallway.
Yeah,
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 I saw that.
you know what
Yeah,
I'm
yeah,
saying?
I
So
saw
it's
that.
like, at some point in time, as the father, like, that's where I was saying in protection, like, you don't know, like, everybody's not out here playing, right? So, at some point in time, I guess you got to either not say cut your losses, but you have to read the room. You know what I'm saying?
Without a doubt.
And it's kind of hard. And it's kind of hard to do that when you come across, say, neighbors, because I done had say a disrespectful ass neighbor, and I know on how shit can go down. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So, all right. Welcome to the GAMG, the Big Flex Strong Cast. Who's calling?
What up, though? This Tim, though.
Tim in the building. What up, though, Tim? What's going on,
What up,
man?
though, man?
Yeah,
Not much, man.
TNT Cakes and Creations and more. What you got?
Hey, man, I think it's upbringing, man, really, with the disrespect. And that goes all the way around the board. Like, I really didn't understand how, growing up, how kids could sit in the class and cuss teachers out and stuff like that until you understand their background. When you got a kid, say 12, 13, we're in the same class, he acting a donkey, and I'm like, man, your parents gonna beat your ass. But the thing about it was, mama wasn't there, daddy was in jail.
Right.
Big mama raising him. Big mama 80. She can't take her time. She done raised her kids. No, she done raised her kids, so she just doing the bare minimum. I'm providing shelter, clothes on your back, and making sure you eat.
Yeah.
You know, you send them to school, but, you know, at 80, you know, she can't really give herself a stroke and heart attack trying to keep up with what, you know, she taking on a responsibility she didn't know she was going to have to take on probably 10 years beforehand.
Yeah,
that's true.
That's true.
Definitely. I think that, and I think something that you kind of touched on as well, you know, a lot of that generation before us, especially that 80 and up crowd, man, you know, we miss out sometimes on some of the wisdom that they can provide and give to a lot of folks because they so stressed still taking care of family. You know what I'm saying? Tough when they reach a certain age. And shit, you know, if you were a young parent, you can get tired. You know, when you that age, they're trying to wear your ass out.
You exhausted.
Yeah, you know what I'm saying? Right. Wear your ass out.
Right, exactly.
To add to the upbringing aspect that you said, again, I just think that it's critical. And again, I read something once that said that our parents aren't the most influential people in our life. It's believe it or not, it goes between your peers. Okay, and you learn the hierarchy of life if you have siblings. Believe it or not, and if you have loving siblings, you could turn out one way. But if you have siblings that aren't so loving, they kind of cutthroat, you could turn out another way. And you would be amazed at how much influence your peers actually have on you as opposed to your siblings. And the reason why is because oftentimes your peers are going to be the ones that you kind of talk about. Hey, big bro shocked me in my shit the other day, or my sister a big ass bully, and if they share stories that's similar, or you know y'all kind of bond in that way, that's how you kind of form your opinion or how you gonna deal with your siblings like that. Because oftentimes mom and dad don't know who getting socked in their shit when they ain't around.
Exactly.
So our peers and our siblings have a lot more influence in terms of how we think about the world, believe it or not, than what people even imagine. And I think that, you know, that's something sometimes that parents kind of take for granted, similar to what you just said, because some parents, they feel like they can parent each child the same way, and the shit don't work that way.
Can't do that
because people, of course and shit. You know, people got different, say everything. You know what I'm saying? Even if you got the same parents or not, you know what I'm saying?
Listening, you don't know what God then placed in them in terms of their talents or their gifts. So you can't treat everybody the same way, man. The shit's just not a good look. So
it's different trick bags. It's different trick bags. It's touch on what you said too, Donald. Man, going to school, I was fearful of my mother, man.
Yeah, absolutely.
More than anything. So it wasn't even a point of acting up. And even though I knew I was gonna look a fool, it was just like, man, I'm gonna say this because I know we run out of time. Man, I did something one time in school. Man, my mom came to school and beat me in front of the classroom, bro. After that.
I bet you ain't do it no more.
At all.
God in me for my mom. To this day, man, I wasn't messing with that woman, man.
Hell
my mom ain't play no games. My mom ain't play no games, man. I ain't want to fight. And guess what? If she was, I didn't want to play with her.
Hey, look, between your mama and my mama.
Oh my goodness, man. I wouldn't play none of them type of games, man.
All right, now Tim.
And another thing, like you said, your peers play a large part. And you know, growing up, Q, you know how it was.
Yeah.
If I did some dumb shit, you wasn't gonna sit there and let me do it.
Right.
No, absolutely.
You know
not.
what I'm saying? Wasn't nobody in our clique gonna let us sit there and do no dumb shit because you jeopardized them.
Yeah, you jeopardizing the whole. Everybody get down. You know what I'm saying?
But once again,
Everybody.
if you around the right circle of people, because you can surround yourself with a bunch of unintelligent,
Idiots.
brain-dead people.
Right.
Knuckle dragons.
Because at that age, everybody's brain is just developing.
Yeah.
So if your best advice is coming from your friend, who his best advice is coming from his friend, then y'all
his
best.
right.
The blind leading the blind.
Blind leading the blind.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Right.
I remember the dumbest advice I ever heard. One time I was scared to skip school and I got in trouble and I was so scared to let my mama sign this note. So I'm listening to the dudes in the hood. They're like, man, you just skip. We walking down the street, man, and my mama had been rolled past, and everybody took off running. I'm like, what y'all? They're like, fool, your mama come down the street. You duck off. But Pete, I'll never forget. They get these girls, man, and they pull some girls to the crib, and they ain't messing around with them, whatever. And I'll never forget, one of them was like, oh, man, you don't need no condom, man. Just use Vaseline. Just use Vaseline. To this day, I said, come on,
Man.
crazy.
I could have
But
checked out on
But like you just said, the silliness, you know what I'm saying, that you
Right.
gonna get
Right.
from listening to your peers and this and that.
Because where they getting their information from? Who the hell told him to use Vaseline?
Listen, this is why it's so
Shit,
important
trying
for a parent to
prevent
be
a forest fire.
Right.
and diligent and watch your kids and talk to your kids.
No doubt.
There's some parents that be closed and they, I don't want them to see certain stuff on TV. Listen, man, I ain't gonna lie. There's no judgment to anybody else out there. But man, our kids see way more shit than what we think they see. I don't even play them type of
They
games.
Nope.
They got
what I'm saying?
phones.
The minute
I ain't hiding
that
them
you
from
think
shit.
that they don't see it, you missing the whole point because there's so much information available. They seeing it.
Yeah.
I'd rather y'all
Man.
see it. Let me kick it with y'all so when y'all see the bullshit, so when y'all
So I
see
can
the
explain it
foolishness,
to you.
y'all know what it is. Let me break it down to you.
My daughter looked up the word lesbian when she was about 8 one time. I almost had a heart. Oh, look, I forgot to put the parental guidelines on YouTube.
Right.
Some little girl in her class was like, you a lesbian. When my daughter came home, she looked it up. So I come home, and I'm like, why you looking all crazy like that, man? I went through her phone. It was about like 10 freak videos.
Man.
Bro, I was shaking, dog. I was like, oh my God.
Now we gotta have this conversation.
Yeah, dog. I said,
Now we gotta
oh
have
my-
a conversation.
She looking at all these women scissoring and licking coochie and everything. I said, bro, I was messed up, and I said, you know what? I just gotta talk to her. I gotta let her know.
talk
but
about
that
it.
also let me
got
know
to.
you gotta stay on top of your shit.
Yeah.
You get what I'm
There you
saying?
go.
Yeah.
All
Yeah.
right.
Yeah.
All right, y'all.
Yeah.
So look, we got to wrap this on up, y'all. Hey, look, this was a great episode.
No doubt.
Number 41.
4-1.
Hey, look,
You from 4-1, ain't you?
4-1.
Thank you.
4-1 all day.
4-1.
5. That's
Okay,
me.
man. Both
You know what I'm
4-1.
saying? 4-1, baby.
All y'all faithful guys in here.
There we go. You know what I'm saying?
4-1.
Okay.
So look, check this out, y'all. Hey, look. Y'all gonna catch us every Monday at 9 p.m., okay? On Podcastic, Facebook, and YouTube, okay? So y'all make sure y'all tune in. If y'all miss any episodes, y'all can go back on through that thing. You know what I'm saying? And make sure y'all call in, support always. We appreciate y'all. And we gonna see y'all next week. And we gonna flex this thing on out like this, y'all, like we always do. Peace, y'all.